Hey guys, welcome to Geo with Motsoko. In today's video, we are just doing a short activity on the mid-latitude cyclone, right? Short activity on the mid-latitude cyclone. Number 1.1 says identify the weather phenomena illustrated. We already know, I just told you it's a mid-latitude cyclone. We can see it by having a cold front and a warm front. These triangles represent our cold front, right? And then these semicircles along a line represent our warm front. Now this is a mid-latitude cyclone, also known as a frontal depression, temperate cyclone, right? Extratropical cyclone. It has alternative names. Whichever name you give us for 1.1 will be fine. Mid-latitude cyclone. 1.1.2 give two reasons why one can say that this weather system is found in the southern hemisphere, right? Two reasons. Number one, you should be looking at the air circulation. The air circulation is clockwise in the southern hemisphere. The air circulation of a cyclone, mid-latitude cyclone, is clockwise in the southern hemisphere. Look at these arrows. They are going according to the clock. Since it's clockwise, so it is in the southern hemisphere. That's another reason. Okay. Another reason you can give, let's look at the position of this cold front. The cold front is found north. It's found above. It's found north. Whereas the warm front, you can see it's below. It's below, so it's found south. I'll show you a diagram so you understand clearly what I'm talking about, right? But if the cold front is found north while the warm front is found south, it shows us that it is in the southern hemisphere. I'm going to show you a diagram so you can understand this point clearly, right? In the southern hemisphere, the cold front is above and the warm front is below. Okay. 1.1.3 Identify the developmental stage of the weather phenomena and give one evidence from figure 1.1, right? Okay, now remember we have the initial stage where the air masses are moving parallel to one another, right? And then we have the development stage or the wave formation. After the wave formation, that's where we get the mature stage. After the mature stage, we get the occlusion stage. Now, this one is in its mature stage. That's the answer, mature. How do I know it's in the mature stage? The cold front and the warm front is fully developed. Right? Can you see? It's very clear. This is the cold front, this is the warm front. Number two, the cold front and the warm front form a well-developed V shape. You see that? Well-developed V shape. It looks like a V. Right? Number two, remember this area here is our warm sector and this part is our cold sector. Our warm sector and our cold sector are fully developed. They are fully developed. That's how I know that it is in the mature stage. You see that? It's in its mature stage. Now, when we move on to 1.1.4, it says draw a cross section from A to B. Can you see this is A to B? It means we are cutting it here. We want to see only the cold front. We are cutting it here. Okay, so this is how we are going to draw it. Let me put it here on the side. Let me use black. Okay, this is the surface. Remember, the cold front has a steep pressure gradient. You see, this and this is the same thing. Remember, we're cutting it here. Okay, and then remember, behind the cold front, right? Behind the cold front, that's where we get cold dry air. And cold air does what? It sinks. Cold air sinks. Let me use blue for the cold air. Cold air sinks. Can you look at my arrow? It's pointing down, right? Showing us that behind the cold front, the cold air sinks. And then on this part, we have warm air, right? Ahead of a cold front, we have warm air. And warm air is uplifted by the cold dry air, right? So warm air rises. Warm air rises. Let me use the color red for warm air. Can you see my arrow? This is my arrow for warm air, which is rising. You see? The cross section is looking for the main cloud and the air movement. The air is sinking here, the air is rising on this side. Now, once the air rises, it is going to cool and condense to form our cumulonimbus clouds, right? Remember, this question is wants us to indicate the main cloud type, okay, which is the cumulonimbus clouds, which is responsible for heavy rainfall. Let me try and draw my rainfall there. Okay, now let's see if we meet the criteria. The question is asking for the main cloud type. Here's it here. You will label it cumulonimbus cloud. Okay, 1 mark. Let me put ticks there. 1 mark for giving me the cumulonimbus cloud. And they will have 2 marks. 1 mark for this air movement and another mark for these arrows here, right? So it's 1 mark for the cumulonimbus cloud, 1 mark for the sinking air, and 1 mark for the rising air. This is my cross section, right, of the cold front. 1.1.5, in a paragraph of approximately 8 lines, evaluate the positive impact that this weather phenomenon will have on tourism in Western Cape. Now, this paragraph is looking for both positive and negative, so please include both of them in your answer. Don't just focus on positive only. Don't just focus on negative only. Include both positive and negative. Now, the positive impacts, you can speak about let me see. Remember, there'll be more rainfall, which means there'll be more greener pastures, right? Which will improve the aesthetic value of an area. 2 marks, right? Because there'll be more rainfall, there'll be more water for irrigation, which means an increased food production. If there's increased food production, it means there'll be a variety of foods available for the tourists. Remember, this question is talking about tourism. You see that? Now, under negative, we can speak about floods. Floods can affect sightseeing. Remember, when tourists come to a country, they want to see the area, right? So floods can affect sightseeing. Heavy rainfall can lead to rock falls, which can be very dangerous, right? Which can be very dangerous. There's multiple negative impacts we can think about, right? Now, if there is if there's heavy rainfall, it means rocks will be slippery, right? Which will limit tourists, because when tourists come here, they want to see topography, they want to see landforms, right? So it will be very dangerous for tourists to visit areas when there is floods, right? When there is floods, certain areas will not be available because of the heavy rainfall, which will pose a danger to the tourists. Okay. Okay, now this is the cross section you had to draw. I think it was 1.3 or something. This is the cold front. As you can see, remember it was a cross section from A to B. It was cutting through the cold front. You can see the steep pressure gradient there. There's 1 mark for these arrows. Remember, behind the cold front we have cold air which sinks. You can see these arrows, they are sinking, right? And then ahead of a cold front, this is the warm sector. Warm air does what? It rises, cools, and condenses to form our cumulonimbus clouds, which bring about rainfall. So there was 1 mark for cumulonimbus clouds, 1 mark for this arrow, 1 mark for these arrows here. Okay. Okay, now there was a question which was asking us for proof that the weather phenomenon is taking place in the southern hemisphere, and I said we should look at the air circulation. Air circulation was clockwise, right? That was sorted because there were arrows showing us. And then I gave an answer where I said that the cold front is facing northwards. Can you see that? Observe these mid-latitude cyclones in the southern hemisphere, right? Remember, let me cut this into half. Let me cut this in, let me divide this into the north southern hemisphere. Let me write it here SH or H, I don't know how to say it. Southern hemisphere, and the top I have my northern hemisphere, right? Now look at the mid-latitude cyclones in the northern hemisphere. You can see they are facing, it's like they are facing downwards now, right? With this one here, in the southern hemisphere, the cold front is found in north, it's up, whereas the warm front is found south. Look at the mid-latitude cyclone in the northern hemisphere now. The opposite is true. The cold front is found south, whereas the warm front is found north. That's what I was talking about, right? So This also shows us where the mid-latitude is, right? In the southern hemisphere, the cold front is north. In fact, it is not just the cold front. Even this portion here, the warm sector, is also north, right? And then the warm front is south. But not just the warm front. Even the cold sector is found south, okay?